get my voice message?
Yeah.
Okay, just want to make sure.
I was just playing around with backgrounds here. What do you think?
Yeah, I kind of like what you got going on there.
It's from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's the time variance dark. For all time, always. All the Marvel fans in the world.
Okay, we got about 20 seconds.
Okay. My glasses on. My blue blockers.
Blue blockers?
Yeah, blue blockers.
My grandfather used to always wear those. Except his were like way bigger. They were, you know, the old school ones from the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
They were monsters, dude. Just 1 sec here. Just cough in your face. Test. All right, okay, it is working. All right, here we go, buddy. Hello, everybody. How y'all doing? Just as a reminder before we get started, this channel is for educational purposes only. It's always important to do your own research, come up with your own conclusions. And yeah, so that gets the wonderful warning out of the way. And here we are. Dan is with us. We're streaming again. Hope you're all doing well. And it's good to see y'all. How you doing, Dan? It's great to see you.
Hey, it's good to see you too, Mark. A long time no podcast for you.
Yeah, I think it's been a really long time, actually.
Yeah.
I don't even know. Getting a little bit of feedback.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Let me see here.
I think I'm kind of hearing myself a little bit, or it's like a little staticky. Just one moment, guys. Hope everyone's doing well on YouTube, Odysee, and Rumble. Hopefully all the platforms are cooperating. It looked like they were when I checked them. Especially Rumble.
Looks like everything.
I'm sorry?
Everything looks good here. Got echo cancellation on.
I'm hearing like... Just maybe check
Yeah.
your jack, your mic jack or something. I don't know. I mean, like, does anyone else hear that? Just put a 1 in the chat if you hear like static or some sort of feedback from Dan. Knowing my luck, it's my fucking computer.
No, because this is a new computer, so probably mine.
Yeah, but the crazy that you sounded perfect before we started when we were doing the tests. Okay, so hey, candidly. All right, so yeah, people do hear the static.
They do, actually.
Yeah, and I'm hearing it when you talk. Maybe try and plug in your USB mic and plugging it back in. See if sometimes, like Windows has this thing where it takes over certain devices, like your headphones or microphones, and sometimes they cross with other things. I don't. Do you actually? Do you have? You don't have the stream up, do you? Oh, now I don't hear you. You might have to select your mic again, Dan. Sorry, guys. Just one moment. Select it in Talk Studio. It probably got removed.
Oh, okay.
There
Can you hear
go.
me
now? Yep.
Can
hear you now.
Let me just try to kill some of these tabs here. All these open tabs.
Wait,
let me purge the memory.
Okay.
I think the fan's running too hot.
Welcome to Forever Conscious Research Channel and Overwatch Project, Overwatch Channel, where technical difficulties are our specialty. Wouldn't be a stream without him, right, guys?
Yep.
Hey, Tom.
It
Good
should
to
be
see you.
quiet. Let me see if it can.
Yeah,
Let's see if that.
you know what? Maybe the best thing to do would be to leave Talk Studio, like close the browser out completely, and then come back with the link again. And if that doesn't work, then you may have to try restarting your computer
Okay, hold on.
because it's
I'll be back.
pretty
I'll be
annoying.
back.
Yeah, no
Yep,
problem.
I'll be
Take your
back.
time. I'll bullshit a little bit. All right, guys. So there we go. Well, while we wait for Dan, no problem. Thanks for the feedback, everybody on the mic too. Hello, Joe. Joe and God. AB Normal. Howdy. Hello, Holly. Welcome. Holly says, so awesome to see you all together. Yeah, it's always great to hang out with Dan. Dan the man. Pure Water, what's up, girl? How you doing? Jackie, hey. Black Uni, hey. Paul. Dusty. Fiddler, what up, brother? Hey, Red. Good to see you, man. Something else is here. Hello. Howdy, last timers. Absurd World. Hey, Dennis. Vargas. Good to see y'all. So how's everybody doing over there? Any buckling up for the holidays? Why is it doing that, man? Why is it doing that? All right, I'll just leave it up. I can't bring up the other windows, obviously. But anyways, you guys staying home? What are your plans? Kind of just chilling, doing the solo thing alone, or
Overwatch Project joined.
Overwatch Project joined. There he is. All right. All
Is
right.
that better?
Talk one more time.
Hello.
Keep going a little bit.
Yep. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the
Okay.
Forever Conscious Research channel.
And Overwatch Project. Overwatch channel. Yeah, I think it's better. All right.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do really quickly is just put a dividing window up here real quick, just so for timestamp purposes. So for anyone watching the replay, where did I put it? There it is. Just take 2 seconds, guys. So it's easier for everyone watching the replay. Come on. By the way, I still don't have my computer back, guys. So I'm working with this. Just is what it is. Shit, did I do the wrong? Oh my god. Okay, just forget it. All right, we're fine. All right. Hey, Dan. Anyways, let's restart that again. Good to see you, man.
Hey, everybody.
Much better.
Welcome back.
That fixed it. Yeah. So, the whole drone thing, the UFO / UAP, the orbs. I'll even say maybe plasma beings. Are we looking at a potential blue beam future? I mean, it does seem more possible than ever.
My goodness, they pulled out all the stops.
Yeah.
Wow. So here's the thing. It's to me, and I mentioned this in an earlier video today. It's easier to understand what happens in the reincarnation system and in the astral planes in the afterlife than it is to figure out what's going on here in the Earth physical realm. Just because the information we have about the astral from out of body experiencers, from near death experiencers, if you strip away the filters they put on it with their beliefs, you get all consistent information. So, with recycling, with the reincarnation, all that. But here, the news media, the information you're spitting out, the stuff people are putting on out there, none of it makes any sense. It's all over the place. You really can't make heads or tails out of it. It's just absolute chaos.
It
right?
is. It is. It's and I wasn't as well informed on it, so I had to really. I mean, I heard about it, through you and a few other people say, "Hey, what do you think about this?" And I started digging, and it's like, wow, like it's yeah, it seems like they've had this slow lead up. I used to feel that Bluebeam was maybe in like the top 10 of possibilities for ops down the road, but now I'm seriously putting it like in a top 3 category, if not closer, because the way things have planned out, even with Trump rolling out the Space Force thing, the hearings, um, the uh, the controlled opposition groups coming out, like Elizondo and all those clowns. That whole To the Stars Academy thing, like that's just like an intelligence bonanza. Like everything that's kind of just it's gotten more and more blatant as time's gone by, and there's more and more coming out. But whatever's going on now, it seems to possibly be one of those potential guys. Let's not get too excited, but it could be a potential turning point for something really crazy, psyop
Yeah,
wise.
sure. It's not like the government spent, I don't know, the last 70 years telling us that it's swamp gas. There's no such thing. They paid people to be professional experts to debunk every UFO encounter. And there's like a genuine, like supernatural UFO phenomena
100%.
that exists. But there's also this now government tarded phenomena that you can't tell. So as soon as the government said, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, there's UFOs, we just had to rebrand them as UAPs because we spent the last 70 years telling you the UFOs don't exist, and
Mm.
we never want to admit they were wrong. So we're gonna rebrand it as a UAP, which is like a psychological operation.
You know what's
And then
crazy? It's a psychological operation, but it's actually closer to the truth. Like the
yeah,
title. So I'm sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
oh, it's an accurate title.
Yeah.
If there's only one thing the governments in have ever seemed to have done amazing at is come up with acronyms for things.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the one thing that
They're
they seem
professionals.
to they excel at. They make acronyms, they make letters stand for stuff, or
Yeah.
they come up with these really cool names like Operation so and so. They or
Yeah.
Project this. Um, but
Or like with World War II, the rat lines.
yeah, or the
Yeah,
Manhattan
that's a good
Project.
one. Yeah, the
The
Manhattan
Manhattan
Project.
Project.
Mm.
Um, um, there's every military action has some kind of Operation Sword or Operation Freedom. There's some names they give stuff.
Mm.
Shock and awe.
Oh god, yeah, that was a big one.
Yeah. So anyway, so as soon as the government came out and said, "Oh yeah, they see UFOs out there, and we're chasing them," and well, and my thing is, well, now the government's saying that, that means
Mm.
there's a layer of bullshit been added to it now.
Hmm.
So I mean, you're not fooling me. And the thing is that they throw out confusing, opposite I don't know. There must be a technical term for it. I'm not really sure what it is. It has something to do with psychological manipulation. So what they
Hmm.
do is like they'll come up with a crazy statement that makes no sense. Like we have no idea what these drones are, where they come from, what they're doing, but you have nothing to worry about.
Mm.
Now, that statement can't exist. It doesn't make any sense. Anybody with basic comprehension, if you don't know where they come from and you don't have any idea who they are and what they're doing, then you can't possibly say there's nothing to worry about.
Nah, nah.
That is an intruder in your house, Mark. You don't
Mm.
know who he is. You don't know what he's doing there. You have no idea where he came from,
He's not a threat.
but not a threat. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. Anyway, so the thing is that they do that, usually it's followed by some kind of instruction or some type of thing that they want. So in this case, they may want some kind of drone legislation that's been floating around out there.
What
So they
legislation did you say? I'm sorry.
drone.
Drone. Okay, yeah, yeah,
I think there's
yeah.
been a legislation, an effort to do some more because we have too many freedoms in America.
Mm-hmm.
So we really need to clamp
That's
down
right.
on those freedoms, and we don't want unauthorized people doing unauthorized
That's
things.
right. Especially things that fly in the air.
Yeah,
Not good.
exactly.
Yeah, no, but you're right. I saw that too. They have already kind of the talking heads over there at Congress and whatever. They've already talked about doing exactly that.
Mhm. Right. So that
Right.
it's always temporary. Like the FBI, for example,
Hmm.
it's just a temporary outfit,
Yeah.
and it's only going to be around for a little while. How long has it been around?
Forever. Yeah.
It's been around forever, right? So, and once they take like the Patriot Act, we just need. Hello?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I was getting some weird noise there.
Oh,
The Patriot Act was another one. We just need this for a little bit.
yes.
21 years later, 25 years later, it's still around.
Still here. Yeah.
And
No, the
it's
Patriot Act's a
still,
great example.
anytime the government says we just need something temporary, it's never going to go away.
No.
It's never going to away. I don't know for sure. I can't remember for sure, but I believe the New Jersey State Police was started as a temporary organization to fight chicken theft back in the 1920s. I don't know. Somebody could check me on that. Maybe I could look that up. Uh, there's that noise again. Are you hearing that?
I wonder if it's my fan. Hold on. Let me know if
It's not me this time. It's definitely from your end.
Okay. Do you hear it now?
No.
Okay, well, I'll keep going, and if you hear it again, let me know.
Let's see. I'm just looking it up real quick here just to see. Um,
Vargas says, sorry, guys, I'm streaming on my TV due to current circumstances here, but I don't want to log in on the TV with my account. There's only don't worry, Vargas. Hang in there, my friend. You find it, Dan?
Yeah, I'm looking at. I
Yeah.
vaguely remember that it was originally started as a temporary agency,
Mhm.
but search engines aren't really helpful nowadays.
Oh, they're shit. Total shit.
You know what is helpful though, and I think it's done on purpose. They really want you to use the AI.
The AI, is that what you said?
Yeah, they want you because it is an interesting some of the stuff it will answer if it's allowed to answer the question.
Mm.
Our AI is um interesting. I'm just reading here. Oh no, it was started as according to some of the searches here, it was started as a permanent solution to challenges.
Mm. To
I was
challenges.
wrong about that one. There was some police department somewhere was started for a temporary purpose, and it's been around forever. I know the FBI was one of them, right?
For
Now,
sure.
yeah, sure. Now I can see like agencies like the CIA, if they were doing what they were supposed to be doing, which is only spying on foreigners. I guess because we have all these nations and all that stuff, people still believe in these imaginary places all over the planet. But but we have no idea what the heck is going on with these drones, UAPs, UFOs. Some of them are clearly drones,
Mm-hmm.
and you can tell that because they're using FAA navigation lights.
Oh, and then not just that, like you could just like even some of the movements and stuff, and yeah, it's the colors of the lights are a dead giveaway. Um, but there are mimics of that too. I mean, uh, sometimes talking about this stuff makes you sound like a complete fucking crazy buffoon, but like like there's all sorts of anomalous shit in the sky that I've seen. I've filmed a bunch of it, and there's like these mimics too. So something that could have those lights doesn't necessarily, in my opinion, doesn't necessarily always classify it as like a plane or a drone or a helicopter or something because they have the same kind of FAA lights or whatever, the mandated lights. But like, yeah, I mean, there's so much weird stuff. Like I'm seeing a lot of uh, orbs. I'm seeing a lot of plasma type entity, I guess you can call entity slash almost orb combo looking things. And then you're seeing blatant drones. Like there was one video I saw where people are making a big deal out of it, where someone claims that, a UFO or something shot the drone out of the sky or shot a UFO out of the sky or something. And it's not impressive whatsoever. It's just like a falling light, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's like there's some interesting stuff there, but then there's also a lot of just complete bullshit.
Yeah, so yes, there is things that could obviously want to look like aircraft, so they would mimic the lights. Now, the thing with the orbs, I remember I mentioned this on your show before, and I put it up on my YouTube channel a couple times, many, many years ago. You can still find it on YouTube. A local Nevada news station met up with a guy who called himself Prophet Yahweh.
Oh yeah,
And
yep,
Prophet Yahweh
yep.
would be able to go out anywhere and summon orbs at will. Now, it turns out that anybody can do that. There's even
Yep.
like YouTube videos that show you how to do that. And I think these orbs are showing up in greater numbers because people are looking for UFOs. They're going out, they're looking for them. And these orbs seem to be attracted. They seem to be like, I don't know if they're having some kind of, because, our consciousness is basically trapped in these shell bodies, and we don't we're not humans. We're consciousness currently occupying a human form. And so when you're outside and when you're focusing on something, even hello.
Sorry, I was just blowing my nose. Sorry.
Oh,
I didn't want to put that
um
on camera, Dan. Sorry.
when you're outside and you focus on things up in the sky, sometimes you can make things happen. Your consciousness is way more powerful than anybody can imagine. It's just been downgraded and regulated through the brain, through the subconscious mind, which is an active saboteur of. Matter of fact, there was a quote I saw from Carl Jung the other day. It's something like if if the unconscious mind isn't made conscious, then you will basically do things that are beyond your control, and you'll call it fate. Like it's something like that. I don't know. Yeah, what was that? It's a great quote from
What's it?
Carl Jung.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about too. I'm trying to think.
Um, yeah,
But while you're looking that
yeah,
up,
I
did you
got
find
it.
it?
I
Okay.
found it. Yeah, it's until you make the unconscious conscious, it will rule your life, and you will call it fate.
So true.
Um, now, yeah, I would change the word fate to probably something else. I'm hearing that
Life
background
script.
music. Yeah, life script. Yeah,
Mm.
sure.
With some
Did you hear that?
intention too.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
So when you're a lot of people are probably summoning orbs without realizing it. I have no idea what the orbs are.
Mm.
I don't know if we're just generating some kind of plasma energy that it generates in the sky when you're out concentrating on it, some kind of quantum thing, or
Think
if
it
it's an
is.
intelligence. Some people say it's intelligent and they have like telepathic communication with
Sure.
these things.
Yeah, I've had it.
Um,
Yeah.
and I know that I have had just little experiments I've done where you look at a cloud and and it's really weird because in order to do telekinesis, like on on the ground here. You need to put like a little tin foil piece in a glass dome, and you got to concentrate on it to get the little tin foil to move a little bit.
Yeah.
But if I look up at the cloud formation, I've done this a couple times.
Put a hole in it or something.
Yeah, you just like imagine, like I can imagine like the cloud splitting a certain way. The cloud starts to move apart. Or you could put a hole in it or something. And what the hell is that? The cloud is enormous, right? It's this enormous thing hanging up over your head in the sky. What can possibly be that your consciousness can affect a cloud at like 30,000 feet, but it can't move, something on the ground? I don't know.
You know, yeah, clouds are an interesting one. And even thinking about what you were just talking about with more people doing summoning, like it's something I've been heavily involved with. I'm not as active in it as I used to, but I was doing it like crazy for a number of years, and it's a hell of a lot of fun. But um, it's like this whole situation where there's so much out there, um, and based on like what you were saying, like, oh well, more people are connecting with this stuff, they're more open to it, so it's happening. But is it because the system is at this moment in time actively allowing this stuff to like be more viral or something so that it's a little more noticeable than it normally is? Or is it that I'm leaning towards this because a lot of people are well, see, the thing is, it's hard to say a lot of people because we don't really know, but there are a lot of mass sightings that are kind of seeing the same thing in the same area. So part of me wonders, like, maybe it's just a psyop aside. Let's just say it's the whole thing is, like part of it is psyop and part of it's not. But let's just say like whoever's seeing like the real anomalous activity in the sky, and there's like groups of people seeing it. Um, Maybe it's just that there's kind of a weakening of the doorway to perception, so they're able to see it like in this given moment in time. But the problem is, like, if you start thinking like that, the problem is the matrix has already took it upon itself, the system has already taken it upon itself to promote this in a huge way, which inadvertently starts opening tons of people up to, hey, what's going on? What's going on? Maybe I'll see something if I look in the sky. And so it could kind of have this cascade effect. Whereas before the system said, okay, we're going to allow this, narrative to run free of anomalies and UFOs and drones, and hey, and have everyone guessing and wondering and uh, scared and whatever, all the mix of emotions. So once that starts happening, they've kind of planted the seed. And so then that kind of reverberates down to everybody else, which kind of opens them up, and everyone's kind of looking up at the sky a little bit more. They're hearing stories a little bit more. They're looking into things a little bit more, which then kind of could promote more experiences. So it's this weird kind of chain of potential effects and things like that. You get what I'm saying? Like it's really hard to nail down because there's a bunch of real ones out there. There's a bunch of really fascinating stuff that's been posted, but it's also not surprising. I've seen tons of that stuff. It's been there's just some people that post it all the time, or they're into the summoning and all that, and they're posting that stuff all the time, interacting with it. And so I don't know, like, what's your take on it? I feel like the cascade effect and kind of where intention kind of comes in as creator beings, like where like, the Matrix is just like how they like back in the day, they'd promote bands musicians. And this would be like on the top 10 music charts, and the radio would play it over and over and over and over and over again. Like, just so, like, if finally it's like crammed into everybody's head that this song is like popular at the time and blah blah blah, for whatever reason that may be. But that kind of has a cascade effect. It's something similar to that. That's the best thing I can kind of compare it to, I guess. What are your thoughts?
Well, the government seems to want people to believe in UFOs now,
For
so they're
sure.
doing something. They're doing something with it. I have no idea what they're doing. It's on the other hand, you have people. It's not really a threat to the what we call the Matrix or the reincarnation soul farm, because like that there was a philosopher I mentioned earlier, George
Mm-hmm.
Gusev. I
Gustav
can't
Gus,
pronounce
yeah.
it. His thing about most
V.
most people around you are what they call waking sleep, that
Mm.
they're like awake but they're asleep, and that they will. This is what I mean. They pump out contradictory information, which confuses people. Now, to somebody like me, when when um, when that happens, when I hear somebody say something contradictory, I immediately peg them as lying about something, and then not trusting them, and
Mm.
wanting to know what they're lying about. But most people don't have that reaction. Most people have this reaction of, and we saw a lot of it like 4 years ago.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say
Most
that.
people have this awake but asleep reaction where they hear confusing information, and then they get an instruction from somebody they perceive or believe as an authority, and then they just obey the instruction because they now don't know what to think. Same thing with this whole UFO phenomena. Now that they've promoted it heavily and they have all these videos out there, and people are inadvertently bumping into the orb phenomena.
Mm.
And I think it doesn't really matter to the system because people will filter what they're. It's the same thing as near death experiences. People have an near NDE, and they have their own personal cosmology, their own personal perspective on what they think reality is. And if they are somebody, say, profoundly devout to a religion,
Mm.
any religion, doesn't matter what it is, they have to process what they just experienced through their worldview. I'm hearing that noise again.
You
It's
are?
not. Yeah, it's not me.
So what does it sound like?
Like somebody breathing into a
Oh,
microphone or wind or.
hold on. Okay, I had the air filter on. Is that better?
So far, yeah.
So
Anyway,
far.
so
Hold on.
people
Uh-huh.
will filter whatever through this to whatever system of belief they have. So now you're not you have to pay attention to when people talk. They will tell you what they observed, what they witnessed, and then it's layered on top of this, or I mean underneath. They'll tell you what they saw, what they observed, what they experienced, layered underneath their belief system. And so, in order to
Mhm.
find out what's really going on, you can't have a belief system. You have to have like uh, basically, you just want to try to come up with the conclusion that makes sense based on the totality of the information you've gathered.
Mhm.
That's why it led me to the reincarnation soul farm. It wasn't like I was looking for that. It certainly
Same.
wasn't something I even knew existed until I came up with it sort of on my own. And then I realized, oh, this has been thought of before. The Cathars, the Gnostics,
Mhm.
um, Carlos Castaneda, Robert Monroe. Then it all kind of fell together. But I wasn't looking for that. I wasn't trying to get to that answer. I was trying to have the answer fit the information, not have my information fit whatever answer I wanted, if that makes any sense. So
Had the
most
same
people,
exact path, man. Same thing.
right. So yeah, so most people they see the orbs, and if they are, and I sent you one of the videos. as
Mhm.
soon as this woman, she's devoutly Christian. So what is
Yes.
she having? She's having a Jesus interaction with a plasmoid orb in the sky. Now, it has to be that way because her reality comes from a book that has
100%.
66 books in it, and that's the only way she can filter reality. And cognitive dissonance takes care of the rest. That's why I was trying to bring up the whole thing with this TikTok ban. I mentioned it earlier. It's an excellent example of just how powerful cognitive dissonance can be.
Yeah, and I think do you have that video? I think it's a great video. I mean I have it on my phone, but did you queue it up in your browser because we can share it with people?
Oh,
I love to share that video. The Twitter
the
video
UFO?
you sent me.
Yeah,
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 with the
yeah,
woman with
yeah,
Jesus. That's a great video and it's incredible. It's
I'd have to.
exactly what everyone would expect it to be, you know, who's kind of gone down this rabbit hole with intention and beliefs and the customization and the matrix and all that. I mean, she gets she gets exactly you know, she gets the
If I
responses
send
that
it,
she's hoping for.
yeah, if I send it to your email, can you bring it up? Because it's on my phone.
No, because I'm not logged in.
Oh,
So,
let me
but
send
you
it to
can
my.
share here. You can if are you logged into Twitter on your computer? Because all you got to do is hit the share button and then share screen.
Let me see
Yeah, that's
here.
what I was
Hold on.
saying. Like you could just do it. Everyone can do it themselves who comes up on Talk Studio.
Um, let me find it.
Take your
Anyway,
time.
what I'm saying is, like these um oh, okay, right here. I think I found it. These um, uh,
Yeah, sorry, my screen is blacking out. So I would do it, but it's like if I once I go to another screen, it just Brave blacks out in OBS. I don't know why. I fixed
yeah,
it and now it's happening again. So best to
let
just
me
have
just
you share it.
let me just go over here
Yeah,
to my YouTube channel
no
and bring
worries,
it up.
man.
I'll put it in the comment section.
But yeah, wait till you guys see this one.
Um,
It's a good one. It's real good. Yeah, but just
uh,
remember,
oh,
Jesus loves you.
yes, yes, yes. Okay, so do you want me to share my
Yes.
tab
So
here?
okay, so what you do is you go to hit the share, like in Talk Studio, hit share, then hit
Okay, hold
screen, and then hit
on.
I understand, and you're gonna do Brave tab, and make sure you also share tab audio.
Yeah, okay,
But
there
and
it
as
is.
soon as you're in the video, just make sure you pause it because I have to like bring it in and put it in the into the stream here, which only takes us. Okay,
Overwatch
here we go.
project stream joined.
Okay, all right. So let me just maximize this for everybody. Can you maximize that on your end, please? There you go. Okay, now I just hit play. Yep.
Okay, there we go.
See if I can zoom in more. I know I can, but my fingers don't work. Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. Here we go. Let's see if I can zoom in. That's kind of cool. Look at that. Can you talk to me? Can you hear me?
Doesn't respond. Doesn't respond. But then.
Jesus loves me. Oh, you know Jesus. You know Jesus. Jesus is awesome, isn't he? Yes, he is. God is good.
Orbs like, yep. Yep.
God is good.
Confirmation.
God is good.
Confirmation. We got another one ready for reincarnation, guys. All right. Thanks, Dan. That was great.
Okay, let me see here. Okay, there we go.
There we
All
go.
right. So now there you have a classic example of what I'm talking about. So, and now if she was of some other religion, it would be whatever, you know. And everything in this realm, the Earth realm here, seems to respond or try to humor you with whatever it is that you got to pick. It doesn't want you to know about the reincarnation soul trap, though.
No.
Does not want to promote that idea. But if you want to make UFOs Jesus, then it'll be happy to help you out. Yeah, I don't know what these plasmoids are. They do seem to respond or to react. And I've never seen, except for maybe I've heard of ball lightning, but that's not ball lightning. I've never seen anybody give an explanation for what these things are. They're obviously not what we've normally been told nature produces, and they seem to be responding with some kind of intelligence.
Yeah, I think when I first saw the video, for a brief moment, I thought it might have been one of Musk's BS rockets that just for a brief moment, because it did have some of those characteristics, but like a really more condensed version of it. But there's no doubt it's definitely like an anomalous orb, yeah, like pretty big one too. And
it's pretty big.
I
These
filmed a
things are
bunch of
all over the
those, like,
place.
but nothing. I mean, that was an interesting one.
Right. So, like 9, 10 years ago, I think the guy's actually not around anymore. I think he passed on, probably reincarnated by now. But the Prophet Yahweh guy, now that's why I brought up that story because 10 years ago, here's a guy that was claiming that he could summon these things on command.
Mm-hmm.
And the reporter went to a park with him, a public park in broad daylight.
I think it was in
And
Nevada, wasn't it?
in Nevada. It was a local TV station reporter. He goes out there. This prophet Yahweh calls on the UFOs to appear, and these orbs show up more than one.
Yeah.
The news people get them on camera, but it doesn't go anywhere.
No.
This is that to me. The biggest mystery is how people can act in such a dense way. The majority of people, I'm talking about the vast majority of people, they seem to be so freaking dense. Nothing can penetrate
the programming.
that programming. It's just unbelievable, and that's why I mentioned the TikTok thing before, because you have apparently 500 people basically take votes and supposedly represent the population of America, which is ridiculous to have 500 people representing over 300 million, like 340 million people. But anyway,
That's
you
fair.
have 500 people that are, elected to represent us because we're a representative republic and we're this freedom machine, and we have this country that is different than everywhere else, and it's government that's by the people for the people. That's what we're told all the time. You got 170 million Americans using an app on their phone. This isn't. This is not. It's not like they want to have a tank in their yard. Okay, we're not dealing. And that's not like what they want to have, like their own F-16 fighter jets or something like. They are using a simple app on their phone in the country that is supposedly by the people for the people. And on January 19th, that app is going to be banned because its parent company is Chinese. Now, whatever you think about that whole situation, that's not the point. The point is the people clearly want the app. They want it. And I honestly don't know how TikTok could be any worse than Facebook.
Yeah, they're all horrible.
Right, they're all horrible. I mean, Facebook is notoriously known for data mining. I mean, it's just known. It's common knowledge. Everybody knows. And you know, it's not like they haven't gotten in trouble for it before. And then you have TikTok. Okay, so they're foreign owned, but you know, what are people really posting on it? It's stupid nonsense.
And not only that, it's like
Well,
it,
you do get stuff they don't want you to know in there too. I mean, but
Sure.
you get stupid
Of
stuff on
course.
how to make the best chocolate chip pancakes or something.
Yeah,
Not
or
gonna
like
harm anybody.
dancing nurses.
Yeah, dancing nurses when they have all the free time on their
Mhm.
hands. What
Mhm.
during the time where they couldn't have free time on their hands, and then you have you have a lot of leakage on TikTok because it's not really enforced to the degree that some of these other platforms are.
Yeah,
And,
see, like,
uh,
I don't know. I mean, I've heard that. I mean, I've heard like you can be a little more open, I guess, over there, but um in my opinion, it's like it's all part of the same soup, right? It's all part of the same recipe. Like just because it's quote unquote, owned by,
yeah.
Chinese, like they're all together. So I don't even look at it as anything, like, because it's like they're all fucking horrible. They're all working to serve the agenda of propping up the system and the propaganda machine. So at the end of the day, it makes no difference.
Yeah, right. But that's not the point. The point
Sure,
is
of course. Yeah, yeah.
you got 170 million people
That one.
that have essentially
Yeah.
said, I want this app on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have a government by the people for the people, you can't tell 170 million people they can't do something like that.
Yeah.
That would then create the whole premise as a farce, which it always has been.
Which it is.
But now you can see it. But you see now people can't see it. That's the beauty of the how the human body and the brain works. It clouds your ability to see reality. It layers it with fragments of truth and a whole bunch of bullshit that confuses everybody. It's just this layered stuff. I mean, you can get truth out of a lot of these people. By the way, have you noticed there's a giant surge in reincarnation soul trap
Oh
sources
God,
nowadays?
yeah. The last 2 years, it's insane.
Right, but some of these are not reliable,
Of
or they appear
some,
to be. They
most,
appear to yeah.
most.
They appear to have ulterior
Of
motives, or
course,
they appear to have the very mixed information, or make some claims that I just don't know where they're coming up with these claims.
exactly. Yeah.
And it's not that. Again, if you know how to listen to somebody, it's all good. I'm not out to censor or block any of these people, because I believe that they have like I said, if you know how to listen to when somebody's talking, you can pull out truth and understand which
lies.
parts are misleading or doesn't make any sense, because it counters like the bulk of the
The data.
information.
Yeah.
Yeah, data. So I mean, once you get entrenched enough in the data, none of these people can fool anybody. I don't know how many
Well,
people do that.
I mean, I'll just say it. A lot of people are lazy. They just want things hand fed to them, and they won't go down the route of wanting to learn, like diving, like spending, like you really have to have time on your hands. You have to want to know that, you have to have that fiery passion within to want to know the truth for real. And it requires hundreds, thousands of hours, like going through all that stuff. Like, and so uh that's why, like, on my channel, I've like gone deep into all these experiences and said, like, this is what you look for, this is what you, just like you have, man. Like, just diving in deep and saying, here are these triggers right here to look out for when you're doing your own research, and then you can kind of see these patterns that I'm talking about or that you talk about. And but you know, a lot of people, they, you know, they're working 40, 60, 70, 80 hours a week. You know, they have kids, you know, they gotta just put food on the table, and they don't have time to dive through as much. So they're more susceptible to the bullshit artists talking about this topic. And that's the sad truth. And the one thing too that I noticed, I'm just so you know, I'm hearing myself, Dan. I don't know if you have the volume. I don't know, but I'm hearing myself talk on your end. Yeah, but one thing I noticed is like a common theme.
Oh, Mark, I'm going to turn off my mic for a second. Tell me if you're still hearing yourself.
Yeah, good
Keep
idea.
talking.
Yep. So, yeah, I'm not hearing myself right now, but so I think it's. Are you using speakers? Anyways, I'll keep
Yeah,
talking.
you know, this is a new computer, folks. Sorry about that.
No
And
worries.
the other computer seemed to filter all this stuff out. And I've always used just the laptop mic
Mhm.
and the laptop speakers for everything. So I'm thinking that it's
Yeah,
one of the.
it's
You know
the
what?
mic, the internal
I
mic is
think
picking it up.
no, I think I know what it is. This Asus computer has an elaborate amount of settings.
Okay. Well,
Um,
while you're figuring that out, I'll just finish my thought. So,
yeah.
um, so basically, what I'm seeing, and what I think I've like kind of seen over the last couple years, is you have, in my opinion, not saying all, but I'm saying a large number of individuals out there who probably heard Dan, probably heard me, Wayne, you know, talking about this stuff, and kind of, you know, they connected with it, they latch onto it, and some of them have done the deep dives and the research and seen what we talk about. And then there's some who just kind of go off, take all that and go off the cuff. And then what they do is they tweak it just a little bit. You know, they tweak it a little bit to make them kind of in this special kind of knowledge genre, whether that be through astral projection or, exiting that in a way that doesn't really involve sovereignty or uh, some sort of weirdness, right? Like, but like an important part of it. So it takes away from, in my opinion, the data patterns, the important kind of like, you know, I try to stay stringent to what is this and what is that and what's, in my opinion, provable and what's not, just like Dan does. So anyways, that's just my opinion on it. The topics picked up a lot of steam, and it's great because more people are questioning reality too, right? So in my opinion, it's like, it's a good thing. And hopefully at the end, the majority of people are doing the research, but the hard truth is that most don't. They just don't have time, right? They don't have time. They don't have the energy. You know, they have to work and put food on the table and spend endless hours trying to make ends meet, and it's not easy. And then there are some that just like they prefer like the more sci-fi narratives. They want things crazier than they are, as if it's not wacky and messed up enough. They want it even crazier. Like it has to be elevated to crazy level 900 and, you know, plus, right? Whereas like it's already messed up and screwed up and wacky enough, but it has to go like, you know, 20 times that. It's like, so you know, I can get on here. We can get on here tomorrow, Dan. We could fire up a stream tomorrow and make a shift and say, you know, it's this, it's that, you know, and that these are the ones who are responsible, and but you know, and ID, and we can kind of go with like a main street. It's the Grays, and it's this, you know what I'm saying? Like we could just fire out all sorts of shit like that tomorrow, And you know what? Our numbers would fly, right? Like our subscribers would fly, and and we could say like, oh well, here are alternative ways to exit. You gotta go through this gate, and at death, and you go to the life review and tell them no. You could cook up all sorts of crazy shit and just throw it out there, and people would eat it up. Like meet the alien at the Alien Inn, and tell them you're checking into room, you know, liberation.
Yeah.
It's like,
I tried a new microphone setting, so hopefully that
oh, it
works. By
sounds
the way,
good. Sounds good.
Asus is crazy with these settings. Where you have no idea. I have like a dozen different ways to set up the microphone.
What's crazy is like you were fine for a while. I mean, I didn't hear myself for a while. Everything was fine, and then all of a sudden it just appeared again. So I don't know.
Well, I had a multi-speaker turned on, which means that the computer's trying to figure out, that there's more than one person talking. But now I put it on single speaker, so now it's just paying attention to me.
Oh, perfect. Okay, cool.
So, anyway,
works.
it's crazy. The Asus settings on this thing is insane. It's a little laptop. But it has superpower amount of processing and memory, and it's got like 32 gigs of RAM. Anyway, the thing is, yeah, they have these. Yeah, you have people, and they will never. They can't. Because it's your subconscious too, right? I mean, if you're deathly afraid, if your subconscious has a program running that you either do this way, or you burn in fiery hell for the rest of eternity. Guess what? And guess what's going to happen when you encounter anything that contradicts that? I know, because I went through Catholic school. I had to deprogram myself.
Sure.
You can do
Same.
it. You can deprogram yourself. You can break these chains. You can crush the programming in your subconscious, but you have to really want to do
You
it.
have to want exact boom.
And
That should be a clip right there.
Yeah, you have to so want to do it, and you have to be willing to go against the programming. You have to force yourself through the uncomfortableness.
Yeah.
Because your subconscious will pull out all the stops. It's there's that. Now, see, the thing is that for a long time, I always my theory was always the subconscious mind is a part of us that's separated from us, used against us. There's a guy out there I just found, Mike Martin. He has some books. He's a very interesting fellow. He has My Dark Explorations. You probably heard of him.
I've heard of the channel. I think I've seen a couple of his videos.
I've been watching his
deeper, though.
Yeah, I've been watching a lot of his videos. The thing is, what I like about him is that it doesn't counter anything we've been saying, but also he has 3 books he wrote on Amazon, and he has all 3 of them that he read for free on his YouTube channel. So he's not even like, the books are only like $2 each or $3, and it's just his thoughts on this stuff. But the thing is, I've always said, if the information fits the totality of the data, then it's something to look at, even if it counters like what I say. So you can have 2 different theories about the subconscious. Turns out there was one out there that he thinks it is that counters mine. I think the subconscious is part of our consciousness that is divided from us, like a sleeping part of us that is used against us. It doesn't make sense. It does not make any sense. I can understand that once we become human beings, our consciousness now has to do things like stupid, mundane autopilot stuff, like your breathing, blood pressure, temperature regulation, eating, digesting. I mean, just think of everything that the consciousness is busy taking care of, because now it's occupying a human body. And so all these automatic pilot stuff makes sense that we would have on kind of like an autopilot. The thing that doesn't make sense is that part of our conscious mind, part of us that should be conscious is unconscious. And this is like the subconscious then runs these stupid, I mean, we go through like 0 to 7, the hypnagogic state, which is clearly there to sabotage us. Then you have everything else that's, you pick up from trauma, injuries, whatever, culture, religion, indoctrination in schools, and all this shit gets dumped into the subconscious mind. And now it's running behavioral programs, which should not be that buried and hidden,
And
but
the
they are.
behavior kind of links into emotion, and then the positive and negative. I mean, we can
Yeah.
go really deep on this.
Yeah, really deep. Now, this Mike Martin guy, he thinks, but honestly, does not contradict the totality of information. So his theory, I would say, is as valid as my theory. He thinks that we're not the human body. So we, which I agree on. We just happen to be consciousness, formless consciousness with all this creative power, like godlike powers, and we are reduced down to this human form. And I believe you agree that he calls the astral plane, the earth astral, the prison yard. Because he calls Earth the prison, and he calls the astral plane the prison yard, where you think you're free because you can roam around outside, but then you end up right back here, right? Makes sense. But he thinks like the mental body, the astral body, the subconscious mind are all add-ons, and that none of those things are us.
Okay.
I gotta say, could be, that's a possibility, because I honestly can't make heads or tails of why the subconscious is there to sabotage us. I mean, it does sabotage everything.
It does. It does. No, I mean, I think I'm pretty good with that. I think, yeah, it's definitely it's like an agent provocateur.
Sure, but I think it could also be why I always like figure that the maker or the whatever took the earth realm, whether they made it or they took it over.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like the Carlos Castaneda books. His thing was that the human arrows, the chicken coops example. It's quoted on my website overwatchproject.com on the homepage on the bottom. It's from the active side of infinity. The part where he says we were invaded from like an external spiritual force invaded and took over and turned us into like prey. Or like made this place into like a farm. And then so whether it was made or whether it wasn't, but it could also be that same thing with us. The human form could be something that when consciousness comes into it, parts of us are used against ourselves also, right? So I don't know, is the subconscious an add-on there to sabotage us, or is it a part of ourselves that we forget about and forget how to control, and then it's used against us?
Well, I think the biggest problem, like if we forget to control, I mean we've already the deck is already stacked against you, and your subconscious plays a role not just here but in the astral. That like those are major red flags.
Sure, because
Yeah.
when you're dreaming, your subconscious says you're on autopilot. So now you're in an astral state, in your dream state, and your subconscious is kind of like driving. It's kind of you're driving like basically asleep at the wheel. Most of the time when you're in the astral at night. I mean, Robert Monroe and a lot of other out of body experiencers say that we kind of float into the astral while we're sleeping.
Oh, I totally agree with that. I think we
Yeah,
do every night.
yeah,
It's just a
and
matter
while
of
we're
whether we remember that or not.
yeah we remember it as a confused dream or a metaphor or something like that, and it's because the subconscious is in the way. It's in the way. It's driving. Well, I should be awake and in control.
Yep. No, well said. Well said, man. Really well said. How you doing on time? You okay?
I get another little while, 10 minutes or so, I
Okay.
guess.
So not like 4 or 5 hours?
No, you.
Okay.
Yeah, I wish. I do not have
Nah.
your energy. I've seen your videos where you've gone on for like 8 hours. I had to break it up in
Those are
several
rare
languages.
moments. Once in a while those come out, but not that often. But not as much anymore. I'm getting older, getting a little
Mm,
crotchetier. Haven't been streaming as
um,
much, but it's always good to
it's
have
tough.
you, man. Yeah, it
Yeah, no,
is.
it's
It is.
tough. It's
Let's
hard.
see. Oh, we also all right,
Any
so
questions?
yeah, I have kind of two areas I wanted to go into, and if I don't, let me I'll why can't I do that anymore, huh? They used to have a question and answer thing here I could set up. But anyways, if you guys so you only got 10 minutes, so let's so what are your thoughts? I just want to throw. I don't like. I'm hesitant to talk about this. I think I've talked about it a couple times on the channel, and we've talked about it in the members Discord server and stuff. But I mean, you're familiar with the Deagle report that came out with the projections of 2025 uh, population numbers for the U.S. and various
Oh
other.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
That was a while ago.
Yeah,
That was
that was years ago. I mean,
yeah, years ago.
I don't even remember. No, it was a long, long time ago, and that report has always stuck out in my head. And kind of given where things are going, I think we're headed where the real estate market is going to crash again, just like it did with in 2007, 8. I think that's coming very soon. I think they're going to use the Orange Man as a scapegoat, but of course he's in on it. And who knows where things go? Whether this involves something like "quote unquote" UFOs and aliens, "quote unquote." Who knows? But like, what are your thoughts, kind of going into the new year about this, Dan?
Well, you know, it's really weird because you have people actually have made accurate predictions before some
Mm-hmm.
of this stuff has happened, right? So you have that one Christian guy that prophesied the alleged incidents there with the ear Trump and all that. And whatever happened there, because we still don't have anything on that guy. Isn't it amazing we know everything about
I
Luigi?
mean, dude. I mean, I don't take anything that happened that day. I don't even want to. I can't even
No,
talk
but
about. I
the,
can't
the
talk
point
about it
is that
honestly. So it's kind of
you, you,
pointless.
you had you have people introducing this stuff as prophecy. Then you had that Cliff High guy. That
Clown,
guy,
absolute clown.
he makes this supposed prediction. I can't exactly find the actual record of this 2009 prediction, but it's out there that supposedly he made in his computer program or whatever, that when Joe Rogan interviews Trump, then 39 days later there'll be what he called sci-fi world will happen, whatever that means, and UFOs and all this other stuff. So, and then coincidentally we got all this drone activity, and yeah, there's that Deagle report, which makes that astonishing prediction about the world population being suddenly reduced, um, and that was from like what, 2020, 2021? How long
Hmm.
ago was that?
The Deagle report. I mean,
Yeah,
I think it's. I think I remember seeing it in 2017,
oh, that far ago.
2018, like maybe around there.
And now you
Maybe
have
2019. I mean, not a while ago.
yeah, it was at least 5 years, I think. But you have that, which what, reduced the world population by half or something? Was it half?
It went by kind of countries, and I mean, I could bring it up while we're talking. Well, it's gonna kind of. I think the screen might go black. Can you
I can look it
search
up.
for it? Search 2025 Deagle report.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let
because
me
my
use,
screen will go black and nobody
yep,
will be able to
no
see it.
problem. Yeah. Let me use the Yandex.
Yeah, you'll find it. Just do an image search; it'll come right up.
Deagle.
And you could do US. You could put US in there, and then
Okay, here we go. I found it here.
no.
Let's
I
see
mean, it's a
here.
lot. It's a lot. And again, this isn't fear mongering. This is just, hey, it's just been something that's on my mind. I'm throwing it out there. We're talking about it. We see this interesting kind of ramp up with this so-called drone
I can't
UFO
even
thing.
I can't even show you this screen because it contains a title that probably would, that references
Can you
4
just do
years
image?
ago.
Can you just have the image? Oh, yeah. Well, there's. Is there any just
Uh,
like where you could just show the image
Let me see if there's an
with the
image.
numbers?
Well, apparently it's also the same name as a handgun. And and if you look for images with Deagle, this pistol comes up.
Mhm.
Let me see. Let me put in the word report here. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Now we're cooking. All right. Oh yeah, there's images. Let me see which one. I guess this one. Okay, you want me to show the
Yeah,
the screen?
yeah. You could
Okay,
just
hold
show
on.
the image. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Is it that one? Yep, there it is. Okay. Okay, do you see it?
Overwatch project screen joined.
Okay, so here we go. Can you open that so it's full?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I just hit the oh.
Oh, I gotta switch to another tab.
I
It'll be
think if you
full.
just hit I think if I think
Open.
people should be able to see that.
Now hold on. Let me change to another tab here. Hold on. Oops. There we go.
Overwatch
Okay, there
project
you go.
screen joined.
Okay, let's
See
hide
that?
that. Hold on. Is it this one? Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little better.
Okay.
So
Now,
yeah,
look at that.
yeah,
There you go.
perfect. Yeah.
Okay. So wow, this goes back 2013.
Okay, so damn.
Um, U.S. Population back then was okay, and then forecast. Look
Now
at
we
that.
have the
Oh yeah,
projections.
there you go. So
Yeah.
I mean, you look the U.S. It goes from down. We're currently at about 346 million, and this is from 2013 to
So
316
there's
million.
346. I thought it was like 365 or something.
I think it's
364.
346 because I
Well,
was doing a comparison between Americans and population in America versus TikTok users the other day, and that's the numbers I was getting, something like
okay.
that. And then population 2025 forecast 69 million. So what the hell happened?
Yeah,
What do they
down
think is going to
69
happen?
million.
Density 7 inhabitants per square kilometer. What the hell?
And this has been like, a military industrial complex partner of the US for a very long time. Make of it what you will. Again, this isn't about fear mongering. It's just about, I think putting this stuff out there, just to think about, it's important. Like, just consider that, doing some common sense preparations is not a bad idea. But, like if it gets like out of control, it's not really going to matter. But, um, I don't know. I don't know what to make of it, but this thing has been in the back of my head for years. And we'll see what happens next year. But I find it interesting they're ramping up these so-called UFOs and drones and whatever the hell is out there. But at the same time, it's hard to take anything they say seriously too. So, who knows?
Yeah. So I remember that now. Wow. That was that long ago.
Yeah, Lauren says bring it. Exactly. Bring it.
So they throw out these astonishing numbers, and they don't give any explanation for what happens to the people. How do we go? How do you go from 340 million or 360 million to 69 million?
Mm.
It's not like that's a lot.
It's massive, and you know there's numbers in Europe that go down. I think India goes down. You know it's interesting. Like when you look at the report, how it relates to the world too, or the realm, not just the U.S.
Yeah, it's everywhere. The U.S. military budget on there though was like 765 billion
Mm.
in 2013. It goes down to 8 billion.
Yeah, which
So we don't
maybe
need.
suggests like a transfer of power, perhaps.
That makes
Maybe the
sense.
Gina.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Only the
Again, like
only
this
the
is.
TikTok users know.
All right. So
Any
one.
any
Mhm.
any questions from people
Yeah.
or?
Anybody got any questions in the chat? I didn't see any, but like, hold on. Does let me see if maybe I could only do it from my phone. Did they get rid of? They got rid of the feature. They used to have a question and answer. They got rid of the damn thing. Oh man. Well, I'm gonna gift out a membership to somebody, but man, what? Well, in the meantime, make sure to check out Dan at overwatchproject.com. You can find his links in my description on Odysee, Rumble, and YouTube. If you have a question, put question in caps and then whatever it is that you have for Dan. And let's see.
Well, there's somebody making a comment that they obviously want us to be in fear. Yeah, listen, fear
Getting feedback
is.
again, bro.
You have
Oh,
feedback?
sounds good now. Oh, it sounds.
Fear. I just want to say to everybody, once you realize that there is no actual dying part, that it's that there is an afterlife, and once you get a handle on what to do when you get there, fear kind of goes away. I mean, yeah, I mean, you want to kind of avoid the pain and suffering part because that really sucks. But as far as like fear, don't be afraid. I'm not
No.
afraid.
No. That's the worst. Yeah. I mean, it, like
I got people. I got people I know that they spend their entire time like, oh, get ready for this in case this happens or in case that happens or blah blah blah. And I'm like, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen.
and exactly like there's like different levels of it too. There's basically two levels. There's a level where humanity still has electricity, still has plumbing, still has the grocery store, and then
Yeah,
there's another level that doesn't have any of that,
right.
or even minus one of those.
Yeah,
And
right.
that leads to absolute and pure chaos, right? So no matter what someone does, you can't really ever prepare for that. And the question and kind of thought process I've always put out there is like, it's like if it gets to that point, like in my opinion, I don't remember who it was in the chat. I think it might have been who said bring it earlier. Someone said bring it. Anyways, whoever said bring it, it's like whatever. If it happens, it happens. Like I'm not
Well,
going to. I refuse to fight for this place any longer. I tried doing that when I was younger and falling for all sorts of bullshit, and I just refuse now. Like whatever
well,
happens, happens. I just do
yeah,
not care.
yeah. One of the formulas they use is to try to make everybody worry or focus on it.
Mm-hmm.
Focus is important. Focus is how they control a lot of people. They get you to
Intention. Yeah.
focus on something and focus and worry and
Mm-hmm.
focus. And if you just, just go and watch some binge watch, some show you find entertaining. Escape, get your mind off of it, because honestly, most of the stuff they try to force you to focus. Like for example, this whole thing with New Jersey, New York, and the drones. If you're not in New Jersey and you haven't seen any drones, what are you going to do about it?
Exactly. Exactly.
Nothing.
No.
Nothing.
Exactly.
If there's a war going on in Ukraine or whatever, what are we going to do here? Are you going to stare at the TV, watch the news, loop the same information 24/7 while you're focused on it? No, they want you to focus on it. I say, screw that. Don't feed the loosh machine.
Exactly. Exactly. No, that's it, man. It's so like, whatever goes down, and if it's massive and of epic proportions, it's going to be pure chaos anyways. But if it's not, then it's just going to be more run of the mill bullshit that we have to kind of basically ignore and not give our
Yeah,
energy to. It's that simple. It's
right.
like one or the other. It's like one non-existent issue to like the maximum extreme. But that maximum extreme, in my opinion, doesn't deserve either or. It doesn't deserve our attention. Like it's, even if you do common sense preparations, it's like if the world is in chaos, it's not going to be pretty out there. But
Yeah,
if
years ago,
it's like,
years ago, I bought, and it was mostly for hurricane preparedness. I bought
sure,
cases of MREs. There's a company in Florida here that makes them, and they're pretty
okay,
good. So I bought, and guess what? They had a really long shelf life. They're all expired now.
yeah.
I never had to use them.
Mm.
I bought them for
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Same. Like I can't tell you like how many cans of soup and uh, veggies and just stuff that had good long shelf life. Like I forgot to rotate or something in my you know so-called stash, only to kind of end up tossing it.
Yeah, because a lot of times they get you to fear, they get you to worry. Heck, go all the way back to the 80s. Oh, the USSR, the Soviets,
Oh
blah blah. They
God.
don't exist anymore,
Mm.
right? And then they concoct this whole thing with Russia now. It's just
Oh, it's so
concocted.
ridiculous.
Um, I just don't even. I mean, there's things to worry about. Anything you have control over, that
Mhm.
you can control. If you don't have any influence on it whatsoever, then what is the point?
For sure. Okay, we have a question from Clean Slate. Says
Yeah.
question: Ever have a sighting that you saw and had really bad hives for like 3 days after? I don't know if I saw a hologram show and the holograms put out crazy energy that hit me or what. I can't say I've had that.
No, but it's weird. I happen to know somebody that has like hives right now, or like a dermatitis or something. Isn't that weird?
Hmm.
But no sightings. Haven't seen anything.
Mm. Yeah, I think, Canley says sounds like you had a reaction to energies or whatever. There was, I think I've talked about this on the channel a couple times. Uh, and I do have a picture of it somewhere, but this was a while ago. I had a crazy lucid dream slash AP session. It kind of tumbled into, I went from kind of more like a dream, although some can kind of say that they both land in the same territory, which I think there's some truth to that. But putting that aside, I got a on my leg like a symmetric kind of pattern when I woke up the next day, and it stuck around for about a day and a half or two, but that wasn't related to me seeing anything like while I was awake. It was related to being outside the body. But I it went away. Some people get it and it doesn't go away with a bunch of various things, but I don't know. I mean, I didn't put too much thought into it, but at least at the time. Let's see. Denton says, I refuse to watch any of the recent drone nonsense. What is the mainstream pushing now? Yeah, exactly. It's that's kind of my thought on it. Like I didn't even really catch up on it until yesterday, because we were planning to talk about it, and I was getting some messages here and there about it, but what's interesting is you're seeing random videos of real anomalous activity, not just the drone stuff, and that's the stuff I love. I love anything related to anomalous activity, and you could spot right away what is real and what is not, or what's has substance and what doesn't. But the drone stuff, I don't take any, like, whatever. Who cares? And these days, like with the whole AI and how they're able to uh, concoct videos and do stuff like that, and just think about what we have access to now, right, Dan? Like the tools that we have available now, and then think about what isn't out yet, like, right, like what what they've had access to for forever, right? And they always kind of say, oh, like they're 20 years ahead, like they release technology 20 or 10, 20 years ahead or something. And then they kind of like beta test it on the public to see like what happens. And there seems to be a lot of truth to that, but I don't think personally that they're working with technology that's just 10 or 20 years ahead. I think they're working with technology that's epochs from, inherited from epochs previously, because that's kind of what keeps the matrix going, the control going within the certain subclass of parasites that rule this place or
Sure.
pretend to rule this place.
Yeah, the powers that shouldn't be.
Yeah, exactly.
So I have to get going.
All right, brother. Well, it's been a pleasure as always, Dan.
Yeah, it is.
And where
It's
can
always
people find you?
excellent.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
Yeah,
off.
always at the Overwatch Project, overwatchproject.com. So that's the best place.
Check them out, guys.
All right. Yep. Thank you, everybody.
All
Have a
right,
good
brother.
day. Good night.
Appreciate you,
And you
Dan.
too, Mark. You have I'm sure I'll be talking to you soon.
Yeah, we'll talk soon, brother. Take care, man.
All right. See you. Bye.
Take care, brother. All right. So always great to have Dan on the stream. And is this breaking down on me here? There we go. All right. So yeah, always great to have Dan. Make sure you check him out at overwatchproject.com. And swing in the chat for a few. Say hello to everybody. I know it's been a while. I know I haven't been streaming much. I just kind of had some Matrix duties and I was preoccupied with a bunch of different things going on, so haven't been around as much. But it's always great to see y'all, and always good to have Dan on too. So what have you guys been up to? You got what's going on for your holidays? You kind of just laying low solo, or you going to see any family? What do you got going on? Anything in the pipe, so to say, in the next couple days? Let me see what we got here. Uni says, I've woken up with bruises and handprints on my body many times as a teenager, and in my 20s, no reason they should have been there. Damn, see, like, it's kind of weird, like, when you start diving into, especially things like astral projection and sleep paralysis, or even like kind of like lucid dreaming. Like if you're opening your, and that's not to say that you needed this or anyone does this like voluntarily, but it does happen voluntarily too, where like, the succubus phenomenon is a very real thing. It's not bullshit. And there's this kind of obsession, especially in the astral with, relations, so to say, between the like astral forms and the human form, or kind of in between the human form and astral form of someone who's in the human meat suit. Something else is here. Says canned goods are fine almost indefinitely as long as they're not damaged. Dried white rice and pasta too. Yep. Yeah, the canned goods, I like the ones that I had, at least. I mean, they were a few years past the expiration date. I tried one of the soups and they weren't so good. But that was just that particular one. It was a organic soup. I mean, if you have the ones with preservatives, I'm sure they probably last, well past the shelf, the so-called shelf life. But yeah, theoretically, they're supposed to last a lot longer. And expiration dates, I shouldn't even say it because, that's liable to get me beat up around the YT police. But needless to say, it's not all it's cracked up to be. Which there's a whole marketing thing behind that. So that doesn't mean you go kind of plowing through foods that are expired, but you just test things out or throw them out per the recommendations of the Food and Drug Administration guys, right? Wink, wink. Let's see here. Let me throw on a little music while we're chatting. Hopefully that's not too loud. All right. Lauren says, I have a New Year's resolution to do. More drinking, more gambling, and more womanizing. Lawrence, you kill me. Well, I think you'll be all right, brother. Let me know how that goes by the end of the next year. Yeah, New Year's resolutions, right, are a funny thing. Like, I was never, I mean, of course I did resolutions like everybody does, but I always loved New Year's Eve. Like, I always, whatever's going on, like, I always go all out on New Year's. A lot of times I go to a concert, have a good time to bring in the new year, but it's, gotta say, it's kind of, the excitement factor's kind of died down since I've lived here, but still some good times. But I usually try to bring in the new year with a good concert. Monkey Man says it's Christmas and I'm broke as heck, and I ain't been this broke in 20 years. Oh, Monkey Man, stop your subscription, my friend. Your membership, please. Save the extra bucks and put them in your wallet, my brother. Okay, please. I don't want anyone to have like a membership or super chat, like if you're going through rough times. I'm serious. I mean, I appreciate the support, but at the same time, it shouldn't, if it impacts you even getting like a gallon of gas, please don't. Like, appreciate you, but take care of yourself. That's most important. Bracer says, there's a two-parter. Did I miss it? I am extremely inspired by what you have been sharing. It took me at least one full year to come out of the shell because I thought this way of thinking was too fringe. But listening to you over the course of years gave me strength to share my own thoughts on the matter in reference to Robert Monroe's book, conjugated into mini 6 episodes titled all the videos I've made. The 6 videos are the most earned, so thank you for giving me the courage to speak my truth. Good for you, Bracer. I'll have to go and check those out. He says it's a mini 6 episode series titled So Trapped Prison Planet. I haven't seen your channel, but I'll definitely try and check it out. And you know what? Like, I think a year is pretty reasonable. You know, it's like one of the things I warn people about all the time. It's like, it's not easy. It's not easy. I mean, I went from going down the NDE rabbit hole, deep into the NDE rabbit hole, and finding so much comfort in that, right? But in the back of my head, I was still questioning things, like saying, wait. And even like rebirth memories and life between lives and past life regressions and reincarnation and how all this stuff, and then like you still had like the memory wipe there, and then you realize like how sick it is here, and how like that same sickness is like perpetuated outside of here when we're in a different form. It is a really tough thing to stomach. And it's not, I think only the warriors stick around and truly do the deep dives to see this information. I really do. You have to, like Dan was talking about earlier, we were talking about earlier, like you've got to have that resolve within you. You have to. You can't just half-ass it. Like you have, like if you want to know, you can know, and have a firm, in my opinion, unrelenting inner knowing about it. But it takes time, and it takes time to kind of like deprogram yourself in that process too, because you're getting smashed with all these narratives that are like reaffirming the good things, the reasoning, the cognitive dissonance, the excuses for what's happening here, right? And kind of breaking down that kind of inner programming in the data. It's some real slick shit that this matrix does. It's real slick. So, you know, tipping my hat to you, my friend. And everybody who kind of hangs in there. Good to see you, Chris, too. Thank you. Monkey Man's been a member for 30 months. Says, I'm here to stay, brother. Okay, I appreciate you. Thank you. But, you know, just know, you know, I appreciate you, but at the same time, take care of yourself, please. Uni says, I've been watching since August 2022. Appreciate you, Uni. Thank you. Hey, Heather. Heather says, Mark, since my interview with you, I felt confidence to talk more online, and I'm now hoping to build a channel of my own and share more. Thank you so much. Yeah, hell yeah, Heather. Let me try to get, you might not see the screen might go black for a moment, but let me try to get Heather's, hopefully this works. Let me try to get Heather's channel up, and I'll share it with you guys. Okay, hopefully this works. What? I think they unsubscribed me from you, Heather. I know I was subscribed to you. What the hell? Alright, here you go, guys. Heather's channel. So check out Heather. She's trying to build up her channel. And you could also check out the interview with Heather as well. And Heather, we've still got to talk. I know I'm horrible with, just so you guys know, I'm horrible with social media DMs and emails and Discord messages, private DMs and Discord and all that stuff. I mean, I'm just not like a social media kind of guy, and it's kind of overwhelming for me because there's a lot of it. But, you know, just know that I appreciate if you're sending me a message. Like, I may respond 6 months or a year later, or, you know, 3 months later or something. But, you know, just know, you know, I it's nothing personal. That's all. Like, I'm just really, really bad with staying on top of that stuff. It's just, it's difficult. But it's nothing personal. So... Tom says, member for 35 months. Tom, good to see you, my friend. Says, hey, AFC, I hope all is well. I'm doing good, Tom. I hope you're doing well, too. Dude, almost 3 years a membership between Monkey and Tom S. It's, I can't thank you guys enough. And anyone who's been a member of the channel and supported the channel, I appreciate you. And even just hitting the like button and, you know, say you find, I know like the ads aren't really anything, maybe some of you are interested in something, but even if it kind of semi interests you or something, like if you click it, it really helps the channel, right? Even if you're, you know, interested. It's little things like that, like even sharing the video. Like, this channel is, I just haven't had the time or the energy to upload as much. And of course, YouTube penalizes me or penalizes anyone who kind of does that. Not to mention kind of the topic in itself is an issue. So this channel really is, and the information shared on it is found by word of mouth. So anything, if you have like a following on Twitter, or even if you just have a few people, right, like popping it out there, it's always appreciated. You never know who's going to connect on the other end. I've found so many enlightening videos and books and all that stuff through social media over the years, and in forums and Reddit and all that stuff. I mean, you just never know when something you share is going to resonate with someone on the other end of the world on the internet. It's wild. Hey, Conscious Soul, good to see you. Been a while. Hope you're doing well, sister. Gretchen says, I began looking up NDEs since when I was a Christian. I was getting love bombs from so-called God and feeling that druggy feeling, so I came across NDE and the love bomb. Interesting, Gretchen. Thank you for sharing that. How long have you been watching, Gretchen? I'm just kind of curious. Like, what do you think about the information shared on the channel here in relation to NDEs? Oh, and let me just put this out there, guys. So for Last Timers Club members, we are going to have the monthly members live stream for December on this coming Saturday, the 28th, at I think 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Normally we do it on the last Sunday of every month, but not this month. So keep that in mind. 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is the monthly members live stream for December. And then on the 29th is the annual members appreciation stream. And that's going to start at... Oh, no. Wait a minute. I think I'm mixing it up. Hold on a minute. Maybe I'm not mixing it up, but hold on. The screen might go blank. One moment, guys. Bear with me. I don't want to get this wrong. Guess some of you listen for these announcements. Let's see. All right. So yes, Saturday, December 28th at 7:30 p.m. 19:30 Eastern will be the December 2024 monthly members live stream. And then on Sunday, the day after, the 29th, at 4:30 p.m., 16:30 Eastern, will be the annual end of year member appreciation stream, which is always fun. So I will see some of you then. So just want to make sure I get that out there. And what I'm going to try to do, hopefully this works. Let me just check here. I tried to give away a membership earlier, but it didn't work. I might have to add a updated credit card on my end to do it, which I do. All right, so hold on. I'm going to do that right now. So one of you will get a membership. You'll be able to join us. If I can just probably should wait to do this, but we're kind of in the middle of the stream. Can I add a card here? There we go. All right, let me add a card. One moment. I'm gonna do it right now. Hopefully it saves this card, because I had one of my cards was compromised, and I'm in the middle of switching banks. And okay, here we go. Hopefully this works. So did that work? There we go. All right. So anyways, so one of you should get a membership. There we go. All right. Cool. It worked. All right. So, Undoctrinated Ryan. Hey, Ryan. Good to see you, my friend. Yeah, you're welcome, brother. It's good to see you, too. Just so you guys know, there is, for anyone who may be a new subscriber, I have a Master Matrix Reincarnation playlist. If you hit the playlist tab, there's also some other playlists there too, including some of the Michael Newton books. And I'm definitely going to be updating the playlists on all the platforms sometime after the new year. So I might break things down by like near-death experiences on all the platforms, and pre-birth experiences, and past life regressions, and I already say NDEs. I'm going to try to break all those down. So if you're interested in kind of looking at the information through that lens, it should be available within the first few months after the new year. Okay, Gretchen, I saw your updated messages. I've been watching your channel since 2020. You have really good information on NDEs. Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm glad you're able to connect with it. Ryan says, I'm a recovering Christian, too. He says, oh boy, the trauma. Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, definitely check out Heather. Tony says, just subscribe to Heather. Looks interesting. Go check out Heather. And check out our interview, too. Did it, I don't know, it's been a few months at least, but you can, if you dig through the channel on the live tab, you'll be able to find it. But definitely go subscribe to her channel, throw her some likes, She's a warrior. Heather's a fucking warrior. And it's very, very sweet. True essence being. I love Heather. Escape the Illusion says, I found you from Eric Dubay of all people. That's cool. Yeah, Eric has done some good work. You can tell he's done his research and he's fallen down the rabbit hole and really connecting with the information, which is awesome. And he's got a great platform, so he's able to spread the word, and that's really what it's all about. Like, for me, it's like if you're kind of staying true to the information and the data, and you're seeing it and conveying it in a, how do I put this, like a noble way, right? Like a way that's not distorting it, then that's cool, right? I mean, Eric is an example of that. You know, no matter what, you don't agree with everyone on everything, but like Eric's definitely put out a lot of great stuff over the years, and I respect his efforts to awaken others. Let's see. Escape the Illusion. Good to see you, my friend. Says, the realm begging you to stay with all the love bombs after death is crazy. Yep. And like the in-between lives period, right? Crazy. Yeah, gematria is definitely another rabbit hole. You got to be careful because there are some shillbags in gematria that will go unnamed. But gematria in general is it's a hell of a rabbit hole, and there's a lot to it. It's not bullshit. Let's see here. Just trying to get through the chat here. Let me just check Odysee and Rumble too. Kyla is back. Hey Kyla, good to see you. Hope you're doing well, sister. See, so Kyla says, almost every time I do psychedelics, I can go outside with the intention of seeing something in the sky, and 95% of the time, an orb will appear. There you go. One time when I did that, one appeared, and I got a very strong image of a bug-looking being in my head. It was interesting. Laugh out loud. Intention is truly powerful. Exactly. That's what it took me around a year to accept it as well. The images I get in my head sometimes appear when I hear a tone in my head. Another way I can make it happen is with deep breathing. Yes. When I hear the high-pitched tones, I know something weird is about to happen. That's big comment right there. I couldn't agree more. The tones thing is something I've experienced too. But even just having that intention and the breathing, the deep breathing, right? I remember running across someone, I don't even remember who it was, years ago. This must have been like 10, 15 years ago, where like they're saying like, hey, if you want to leave the body, you do, you know what I'm saying? Like you do that, like, and you basically exhaust yourself with these, it's not, you do deeper, longer, but like repetitive, fast breathing exercises. You can get to some altered states pretty damn quick. And in some cases have a OBE. No drugs involved, no, not necessary, no altered, no substances required. It's wild. So there's little cheats and tricks that you can do to kind of get yourself there. But it's not for everybody, right? So what might work for you might not work for me, and vice versa. So Lawrence says some of the scraps on X over flat Earth and testicular Earth are wild. I think that's the first time I've ever heard that one, Lawrence. That was a good one. By the way, I think I need to email you, Lawrence. It's not, I'm sorry. I will reach out to you, brother. It was great having a session with you and meeting you, my friend. Let's see. Canley says, I have Eric's dialogues on the reasons it looks like a soul trap saved and listen to it periodically. Yeah. Jakey says, yep, lots of shills in Gematria. Hardest thing for me was realizing it was all coded into sports. Well, it's coded into everything, but at the same time, going with the sports thing, it applies to everything, right? The one thing I'll kind of err on the side of caution as kind of a public service announcement is be careful with those who claim that they have sports picks in exchange for money related to gematria. And I'm not going to say anything else. I'm not going to say any names. Some of you know who I'm talking about. Some of you don't. But don't someone I care about very much, and they may be listening, was severely injured financially by this individual. And if you're out there, my friend, hope you're doing well, man. I really do. You're a good, just a great human being and great true essence being. But anyways, he got hosed because of falling into gematria predictions and betting. It was really bad. And he's still, last I knew, he was still kind of trying to get out of the hole. That was dug is a relation to, the claims that this individual in the gematria field made. And that's all I'm going to say. I appreciate, we don't need to put names in the chat or anything like that. Like, just, if you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. It's the point is the gematria field, the Mandela effect field, even the soul trap field. There's just with anything, right? You're gonna have shills, you're gonna have opportunists, and it's just the way it is, right? And like the most egregious part of the gematria individual that I'm talking about is they will openly make predictions, and then when those predictions don't come true, they'll delete those videos. But then of course when the winners come through, those videos won't be deleted, and then there's like upper tiers and all that stuff that you can subscribe to as a member, and yada yada yada. I mean, it's really really parasitic stuff. And then kind of like how some of that information is shoehorned, events that happen and then are kind of like shoehorned into multiple formats of gematria. I mean, look, it's I don't even really want to go that deep into it because it's just not right. It's taking advantage of people on an epic scale, and those who fall into that can get hurt really really bad. So just be careful if you're looking at it related to building wealth or whatever, right? And just, taking care of your brain too, or your what you allow in and what you don't. Dusty Blue says, yes, also the more inner knowing, breathing, nature, creativity, etc., for each different developing one's own inner code, talk frequency knowing. Okay, so the more inner knowing that you have, which is, you know, through breathing, nature, creativity, etc., each develops differently through one's own inner code and frequency of knowing. Okay, I think I know what you're saying. It's a little sporadic, but I get it. Escape the Illusion says, I had a certain friend that had the same problem with gematria, and a certain blank group ruined her entire life. Yep. I knew someone too who fell down that, you know, specific letter group, and it was bad, real bad. They came out of it, but it took a while. It's so screwed up, right? Canley says, boy, Mark, YouTube is really hitting your live hard with stupid commercials. It's the holidays, right? They go crazy with the ads on the holidays. Because what happens is those who kind of, the companies that buy the ads for YouTube and like spread it out. So my channel, everyone's channel gets ads, and it doesn't even matter whether you're monetized or not now. I don't know if any of you are aware of that. You can go to any channel, doesn't matter what it is, and you're likely to get an ad, whether the channel owner is monetized or not. Whereas before, this was years ago, if you were monetized, then you know, you obviously would get part of the ad revenue. But even if you're not part of the ad revenue, if you just say you just have a channel, you just post tomorrow a couple of videos of your cats or something, your dogs, then they can just pop an ad in there. No big deal. And that channel doesn't get any revenue for it, right? So they inundate you and I and everybody else with ads to channels that, whether you're monetized or not, they're going to happen. And during this time of year, they're crazy with the ads. They go nuts. Because, you know, the holidays and all that stuff, people are spending more, so they like really ramp it up. So, sorry guys. I mean, mine is on the low setting, right? So you should get an ad, but it shouldn't be that often. Like, you might get one, you're supposed to get one like every 25, 30 minutes, but it shouldn't be more than that. How often are you getting them, Ken? Actually, you know, I'm kind of curious. What do you guys in the chat, if you're watching on YouTube, how often are you getting an ad? Are you getting an ad every 25, 30 minutes? Or is it like every 5, 10? Like, how often is it? Kind of curious. It's crazy. Okay, Mary, you'll be fine. Mary's worried about not wanting to reincarnate again. You'll be fine, Mary. Don't worry about these pods. That's all bullshit. I'll just read what she wrote. She says, I would love to know that I won't reincarnate. However, it's possible we are in Matrix-style pods already. This meat suit is a pod, right? It's a delivery system, right? But when you leave the body, you know that you are more than this, right? You can call it a pod, you can call it a meat suit, you can call it whatever you want. But you're going to be just fine, Mary. Don't give the upper hand to the Matrix, sister, right? Take care of you. Nothing has dominion over you in your essence. Please, please, please don't ever forget that. Just one moment. Just going to shut off the camera for a second, guys. Let's see. I'm trying to get to the chat here. Let's see. Yeah, Ryan makes a good point. Dr. Ryan says, if you play to win, somebody else loses. If you play to lose, you lose. If you play to tie, you live in balance, equity, and honor. I like that. Dropping truth bombs all up in this place. Let's see. Thomas, oh, hey, Tom, says, I got suckered into the sports gematria and lost some money because of the person that FC was talking about. Wow, you did too, Tom? Damn. Okay. So there's another example. I'm not even going to mention him, but he's so bad. It's just really bad. Vargas says, if people dabble into gematria, they need to look into the work of the many decoders and not seduced by the rigged sports. Well, see, but that's the difference. Like, you can still see the decoding, you can still see all the breakdowns of gematria and how it relates to this realm and the programming of it all. But then you can easily also, on the flip side, get into this to the mindset that, oh, because this is a partially programmed reality, a life script reality, that, like, oh, it makes sense that by applying this and that in gematria that this outcome will come, when that is not the case. Trust me, if that it's crazy, like when you're in the mindset of gematria, it can take you down some crazy rabbit holes and really deep thoughts. And I would say the same thing goes for etymology. And languages in general and stuff like that. Like, when you go down those rabbit holes and spelling, and when you go down that area, you can be really manipulated easily, because you're seeing tons of truth, but at the same time you're also vulnerable. And I'll admit it, I was one of them. Like, etymology was a big one. Languages, spelling, all that stuff. Like, it messed with my head. Not for a really long time, but long enough where, like, you can, because of my experience, at least I can relate with others who have kind of gone through the same, whether it's numbers or letters, it doesn't matter. It still kind of falls into the same matrix manipulation. And it can do a number on you. It really can. like not wanting to talk this way or that way, and it's just it's a really really difficult thing to traverse, and you have to kind of get yourself out of it. And then, but like when you realize the power of your intention and who and what you are, and and all that stuff, it kind of just, all that stuff falls by the wayside. Does that mean everything's going to be perfect in your life? No, but it means that you'll have a more rounded approach to everyday life as a result of that knowledge. Remember, we're still playing in their world, under their rules, under their meat suits, you know. So it's kind of like this little back and forth that you have. But overall, you should get the upper hand a little bit more in the long run than without not having that knowledge. And most importantly, how to apply it. Candidly asks, hey, Candidly says, Mark, could you give your opinion on whether we should work to take down this matrix, and in what ways, or if we should just get out? Yeah, this is a big one, Candidly. It's a good thing you brought that up. Wow, it says an ad every 3 minutes? That's insane. Anyways, I wonder if they change it based on the country that you're watching. It wouldn't surprise me. Anyways, going back to what Candidly said, she says, Mark, could you give me your opinion on whether we should, work to take the Matrix down? Or should we, just get out? I think this question is one that comes up a lot. I've talked about it a lot. But just to reiterate, this is a sovereign journey, guys. Your intention to leave and not be interfered with is most important. I personally do not believe that any one individual, any group could theoretically take this place down. And I'm strongly saying that too. I just don't believe it happens. If it was possible, it would have already happened. We have Gnostics, we have Buddhism. I mean, we can go down the list, right? Like we are not, like Dan was talking about earlier, we're not the first ones to kind of see this reality for what it is and want to fix it. So that doesn't mean that we're the first ones to kind of look at the sovereign approach and all that stuff. And I think it's in most, if not all of our hearts and intention to want to put this fucking parasitic mess to an end. But at the same time, I don't think it works. And this is kind of my opinion. I talked about it years ago, like kind of in depth. I don't remember the title of the video, so I'm sorry. It's out there somewhere. And it's been talked about periodically over the years too. But I think when you have the majority, we'll say the majority rules, right? If the majority rules out there, right? Everybody, your neighbors, the vast majority of people out there, if they are under the spell, the illusion, the propaganda machine between the astral and here, in buying into it, who's to say that, let's just throw out a number there, right? Let's just say, how many subscribers I have? What was it, like 17,000 or something? Let's just say 17,000 of us versus the mass collective that have their intention. Some of it may be reluctant, but let's just say the vast majority of people out there, and true essence beings in between states before they come back, or maybe just come for the first time to Earth. I don't think it doesn't make any sense number-wise that we would be able to override their intentions, right? And that's like just on a very basic level, assuming that something like majority rules is even a thing. What the hell do I know, right? I don't know if that's true or not, but all I do know is that I think the worst mistake any of us could make is to assume that we can take on this place and close it down. Now, perhaps, maybe, and this is a big fat maybe. Maybe once we're kind of, and even like this is something I would never do. I'm just not going to involve myself in anything to do with this place whatsoever ever again. Period. The end. I don't care what is going on here. I've put in my dues, and I'm not involving myself ever again with anything related to this place. Okay? Because the last thing I want to do is end up back here in some little sneaky bullshit way that is cloaked as some clandestine operation to take the damn thing down, and then, you know, get jammed right up the ass with it. No. So that's just me, okay? But let's just kind of throw it out there that if you are said warrior out there that you would like to roll the dice and take such a chance, and if you do, all the power to you. But if you're willing to take a chance on something like that, you have better gone through your whole sovereign intention and really be connected with who and what you are to have enough resolve within to know that you could potentially come back here and end up in this mess all over again in an effort to help others. Now, that's not to say that it isn't noble and that it's not, you know, like I tip my hat, right? But I always say, like, we're here now, right? The time to help is now. It's not after we've left here. It's not coming back and calling in the cavalry to do something. We're here, right now. You know what I'm saying? You can make a difference in a small way. It doesn't have to be a big way. It doesn't have to be YouTube or anything like that. But right now, you can do it. And you probably strike out a bunch of times and until you get someone who's receptive. But eventually, you know, depending on how much you put yourself out there, whether it's, you know, in your local community or the internet or whatever, eventually you'll probably strike a chord with some who can relate to the data, right? To the information and trying to make sense of things. So I think anyone, if I don't know who's out there, I know there are some, but if you run into someone like saying, oh, we need to build a strike force, or that, you know, we need to, you know, rally around and do this to help take this thing down, it would have already happened, guys. Let's just face it, right? Our memories are erased. It's clear by the evidence that's in this realm that there's been multiple resets. I don't know how many, but I will go out on a limb and say somewhere between 3 and 5. And that, think about that number, between 3 and 5, that, in my opinion, probably happened, right? And, you know, some of you probably come up with that same number, right? And that's just what we suspect. Who's to know how long this whole damn operation's been going on and the extent of its claws? how many other realms could be involved with this whole parasitic loose system, right? Not to mention the astral, not to mention other, material realms. And then, of course, here we are on Earth. We don't know the extent of the clause. And so I ask to each and every one of you, do you want to get involved with that? Do you really, really want to get involved with, rolling the dice and coming back and dealing with this mess? There's no upside. There's no upside because I think the chance, the upside would obviously be helping others and actually shutting it down. But what if you're just fed an illusion? I've talked about that early on in the channel too. Like, what if they feed an illusion like, hey, you're Mr. and Mrs. Warrior. You're going to take this thing down. But yet, it was like a matrix projection all along, right? Can you decipher that is what's happening in the moment? What happens for you to get in that moment, right? And to experience that, and then maybe eventually realize it, but then your memory, I don't see the upsides. I see nothing but downsides. I see one big mega upside. But that upside involves me and you risking each of our individual selves for what's happening already. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't see again, like I talk about all the time, like be selfish. Take care of you. Do you when you get out of here, right? Try to help people now. Try to help in this lifetime. This is when you can do the most. You can reach the most amount of people. You can do it now. You don't have to wait till you're dead and end up through the meat grinder again, the loose grinder. Or, go out and do your sovereign intentions, put yourself in your own realm and through non-interference and liberation, sovereignty. And then I think the last thought that we should have after leaving this matrix should be this place. That's just my opinion. I think most of us have put in who knows how many endless lifetimes here. And we don't know, right? We don't have the memories to know how far, how deep that whole thing goes in relation to us as individuals. We just don't know. But I think it goes pretty damn deep for each and every one of us. We've probably been through the ringer. We've probably had, ecstatic experiences. Maybe we've gone from living on the streets and the slums to probably being some celebrity jazz guitarist. Who knows, right? We've probably experienced it all. Some sex symbol, you know what I'm saying? We've probably experienced it all. But at the end of the day, is it really worth it? Ask yourself, is it really worth me risking my sovereign self, my true essence, for what seems to be a slim possibility of success to take down the entire realm? Make of it what you will. I just don't, me personally, I'll have nothing to do with it. Like this, what I'm doing now and talking and putting this information out, that's my contribution. And whatever the fuck happens after I'm gone, peace. Like I don't care. Like I don't want to have any sort of energy or concentration or anything kind of directed here in relation to anything that's happened here. When it's time for me to go, it's time for me to go. Bye-bye. That's all. So that's just my opinion on it. But I get the, I get it. I get it. I mean, like I felt the same way for a few years there. I mean, 2 years. Like I felt that same way. It's like, hey, what can we do to actually take it down? Like to stop this parasitic mess? And it's just beyond my comprehension. I don't see it being possible when you have a vast majority that just props it up and believes in it and puts their whole being into that belief, which just powers that creative, this creative mess that we're in, right? How does a minority overpower a vast majority that buy into the bullshit? And from the smallest thing, it says people can know that this place is like a scam. They can know that it's unjust and bullshit and contain a lot of good and stuff like that. People can have all of that running through their head, but at the end of the day, what is their belief system? Is it Jesus? Is it Buddha? Muhammad? Uh, the bearded man in the sky? Jeb Bush? Donald J. Trump? Macron? Trudeau? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like the Pope? Uh, you know, sad guru. You know, so we can go on and on and on. Like at the end of the day, like if you are allowing yourself to give your essence, your intention over to a matrix figure or a matrix narrative, then who's winning in the end? It certainly isn't you. You can maybe take, valuable pieces of information that come from that, but and apply them with sovereign intention. But at the same time, like if you're allowing yourself to be kind of controlled by that through your own intention and belief systems, then you're no different than the neighbor or the the town council or the whoever, right? Or the average everyday voter, who believes that they're actually going to get change by, going into the voting booth. It's not going to change. But yet the voter is putting that intention into the voting machine for their own enslavement. Some may hear that message and not like it and say, "Oh, well, it's better than this one, better than that one." Well, that's what the Matrix does. It gives you these choices. It gives you these false choices of perception that if you go and put your intention and your energy into this in the voting booth, that you will get that. Or if you put this into the voting booth, you will get this and that. When at the end of the day, you're going to come out, flick that curtain back, drive back to work, go home, pay your bills, and 4 years later, you're going to still have the same dick up your ass that you had 4 years ago. Okay? It's that simple. All right. Anyways, I don't know. I went on a complete fucking tangent. Yes, Jeb Bush is God. Correct. So Joe in God 1, you need to change your name to Jeb Bush in God 1. Or wait, no, Joe and Jeb Bush 1. How about that? Okay. Yes, Jeb Bush. I don't know why I brought Jeb up, but whatever. Anyways, I kind of went off on a tangent. It just, it is what it is. So I think maybe maybe we'll kind of leave things there. Okay, my friends, it's always fun, always enjoyable. I really hope that you have if you're celebrating, if you have a good holiday, something I've brought up many years. It's on the channel, Not everybody celebrates. That's fine. I get it. But, you know, enjoy you, right? Well, however you celebrate, however, even if you just stay home and chill and do your own thing, if you're in the part of the realm that has this upcoming holiday, do you. Enjoy yourself. I hope whatever path you choose is good and enjoyable for you. Okay? So I appreciate you all, and we'll see each other again soon. I'll probably be doing a mobile stream this week. Maybe we'll do something late Christmas night, or maybe the 26th. And then, of course, there's the back-to-back member streams on the 28th and 29th. So if you'd like more information on memberships, or if you'd like to support the channel, feel free to check the description below, and yada, yada, yada. But you take care of you, and we'll see each other again soon, my friends, okay? Much love to each and every one of you. Appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. See you soon.